Well, I have to say, this has to be the most remarkable place I think I've ever been in my entire life. And bam, flat tire. I don't know if there's a hole in it or something. Looks like we got a leak. That's always fun. You guys can probably hear that now. That was smooth. We have a little mouse. Look at that thing, dude. That thing is so cute. Just trying to get in here though. Yo. So now we just sit back, wait for the sun to come down, set up the projector, and watch a movie. Well, to be honest with you, that was probably the last shower that I'm going to take here at a Planet Fitness for at least a week, which is very unfortunate. But don't get me wrong, not showering for a couple days is definitely a con of living on the road. You don't really get to shower sometimes for 1 to 2 to 3 days at a shot. But I will say, although it is unfortunate, tonight we are going to the Salt Flats. And if you guys don't know what the Salt Flats are, it is essentially another planet. But if you guys do not know what the Salt Flats are, the name is basically what it is. It's basically a flat ground, flat surface filled with a bunch of salt. And apparently it is just unreal, and you can stay there for as long as you want. And if you guys watched my previous video of me staying at the Walmart parking lot, we've been at that Walmart parking lot for a couple of days now here in Salt Lake City. And to be honest with you, if you're living this type of lifestyle, or if you want to live this type of lifestyle, the whole point of living this type of lifestyle is to avoid parking lots, Walmarts, and Planet Fitness parking lots as well, and just really just be off-road. So happy to say that today and tonight, and probably for the rest of the week, we'll be staying at the Salt Flats unbothered, because basically it's no one there. It's BLM land, which is awesome, and you won't get fined. You don't have to worry about cops, and again, you can stay there for basically 14 days at a time. Salt Lake City is definitely a cool city, I gotta say. It's definitely got its views and landscapes and everything, and it's one of our better cities that we definitely visit throughout the United States. We've been to some pretty cool cities, Chicago, Portland, and a bunch of others that I can't even think of right now, but Salt Lake City has been cool, but not cool enough to be staying for more than 3 days, to be honest with you. Which is why right now specifically, we will be driving to the Salt Flats. It's about a 2-hour drive, and we're looking forward to hitting the sunset. I heard the sunset is actually insane at the Salt Flats. It's currently 4 o'clock, and the sunset's at 8 o'clock. So we should have enough time, but I heard the views here are awesome while getting to the Salt Flats. So enjoy the views. I'll see you guys there. All right, we've made it here to the Salt Flats. Not only is it raining a little bit, it's also very, very windy out, but I'm not really sure if we can really go on this. Again, we have a pretty big bus, and it's raining out, so it's making me think that it's pretty soft, but I gotta say, it's pretty hard. Wow, this is so sick, though. Yeah, it should be good to drive on, I think. Just set up camp over there, right underneath the mountains. Well, I have to say, this has to be the most remarkable place I think I've ever been in my entire life, or at least throughout our travels here living in this bus. I don't know if this is like a combination of salt and sand, or strictly just salt or strictly just sand. I would imagine that we're in the salt flats, so it has to be salt, or at least a mixture of salt. But like, it looks like we're on like Mars. This is unreal. And there's absolutely no one around, which I'm kind of really shocked about. You know, we went on the app and it said that, you know, all of these spots were basically taken every single day, but it seems like we kind of have this spot to ourselves. Now, when we first got here, there was a sign that actually said the further that you go in, the salter that the sand or salt gets. So I know we're kind of right next to a highway. There's cars passing by right now, but we're kind of nervous on going too far out. But I think we still kind of get the gist right here. I mean, I'm just looking at my tires. I've, you know, took this bus to the beach before, and this does not look like sand. This looks like salt, to be honest with you. I don't really know, you know, how that works with tires, if I should sweep it off or keep it on and it'll be fine. I'm not really sure. I know salt destroys everything. It destroys concrete. It just destroys everything. And I'm from the East Coast, and this entire underneath of this bus is all rusted out because of the salt in the air. So a little nervous about that, but what are you gonna do? The craziest part about being here right now, here in the salt flats, is that we actually have Wi-Fi. And it's crazy to say because we are literally in the middle of nowhere. I think the closest town away from here is around 20 minutes. And 9 times out of 10, when you're coming to spots like this where they're just like really off-roady, the Wi-Fi is either just completely shot or there's no Wi-Fi at all. So the fact that there is Wi-Fi, and we do have a 9 to 5 that we have to work basically on Eastern time. So, and since we're in the mountain times, it's technically 7 to 3. That is amazing to us because we're in a beautiful spot, beautiful landscapes, mountains in the background, just in another planet, and we get to basically work full time on the road here. But just so you guys can get a little bit of a glance of what my view looks like eating this meal, we are, again, here in the salt flats. It is absolutely insane. Again, I know you can't really see it, it's going out of focus here, but wow, this place is, again, so insane. It is honestly a big relief after staying in the city for about a week. I can tell you that. Well, tonight has definitely gotten away from us a little bit. It's gone obviously a lot darker out. It's already 8:30. I feel like we've been here for a couple hours, even though we just got here probably 30 minutes ago. There is also salt all over this bus. I don't know how we're going to be able to clean this up or, you know, stay organized with this, but this is definitely a problem. With that being said, not tonight, obviously, just because it's getting a lot darker out, but tomorrow and probably for the rest of the week, just because we're probably going to be here until the weekend, Saturday or Sunday is when we're probably going to leave here, and it's currently Wednesday, so we have plenty of time. But I'm definitely going to set up the projector. I'm definitely going to pull out these doors and make some dinner, or, you know, just cook in general. And I'm definitely going to put up some Netflix and put on my inflatable sofa as well, because why not? We're currently in the middle of nowhere, so when in Rome, you got to do it. I will say there is salt all over these floors, so I'm going to have to sweep that up. But I think for the rest of the night, I'm just going to wind down, put on some Netflix, lock up, and enjoy the rest of our night, because tomorrow is another early day tomorrow. Got to wake up at 7 because we have work in the morning, and then after work, of course, I'm going to do every activity that I just talked about, setting up the projector, putting on some Netflix, and enjoying the rest of the week here. Well, I was enjoying my coffee with this beautiful view this morning. It's currently 7 o'clock in the morning, and I took a step outside, obviously enjoyed the landscape, and bam, flat tire. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty flat, and obviously it is not in the most ideal place either. This ground is pretty soft, so changing out this tire is definitely going to be a pain in the ass in the event that I can't blow it up. But I do have a tool, fortunately enough, that can probably help out with this situation. Unfortunately, this video is not sponsored. This is just a great product in my opinion, but it's basically this air compressor tool. Just a gun, click a button, turn it on, and pumps air. It's pretty simple. All right, so basically I'm gonna set this to 80 PSI because that's what these tires are. And you just click this button and it starts filling it up with air. But as you can see, we're at 6.5 PSI and it's going up right here. I'm gonna let that sit there for a little bit. The only problem that I have with that tool is that it takes so long. It takes around like 10 to 15 minutes to fill up our tires. It's probably because our tires have 80 PSI and they're just huge tires. I mean, we live in a bus, so gotta really expect that. But yeah, that's really the only con. And honestly, you can't even really complain. It's pretty simple. It's just a gun. You press one trigger and it fills up your tire. It's very simple. All right, well, for about 15 minutes and doesn't look like it's moving. And Kayla's got the zoomies. She's got the zoomies. Yeah! She got the zoomies? This is totally not working. I don't know if it's the gun. I don't know if the tire is just too low. So, probably gonna have to take this to a gas station, which is 3 minutes away. It's not that far. But it's kind of risky when you have a really low tire like this. I'm gonna try to go slow here. Now again, this could be a multitude of things. There could be a hole in the tire. I couldn't really see just because there's so much salt on the tire right now, so I couldn't really see anything. But it could be a faulty stem. Could be a bunch of things, but I do know that I think that gun is getting faulty just because I've used it in the past, never had problems, and I just think it's so cheap to the point where it can only last so long. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't know if there's a hole in it or something.
I hear a leak.
I hear a leak. I'm telling you, I think it's down here. Yeah, I hear it. I can hear it from a mile away. Looks like we got a leak. That's always fun. You guys can probably hear that now. But I think he's gonna fix it for me, which is cool. Obviously I'll pay him and everything, but god damn, it's always something on the road. Well, this is where we are currently. How we looking?
Oh, yeah, I want to show you the leak.
Yeah. There you go. What was it, a screw?
No, there was nothing in it. It already came out. It already flew out, whatever it was.
Oh, it flew. Oh, okay, so
yeah,
it came in, came out.
Yes, sir. That's why it was leaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Yeah, it's way easier.
What do I owe you here?
Huh?
What do I owe you?
You want to go ask that guy over
Yeah,
there?
sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this so quickly. Yeah. What do I owe you guys?
You just want to let him go, or do you want to ride him up?
It's up to you. I like how you do it. That's why I sent him towards you.
You're good.
Nah, let me pay something.
Because it costs us $13 and it's going to cost you more. It's not even worth running it.
You serious?
Yep.
Damn, well thank you guys. I really appreciate
A
it.
$25 flat repair, and then I run your card and it's costing me $13 to get that 25. So.
Okay. All right.
It's not.
All right. Well,
Not
thank you,
even
man.
worth
I
writing
appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah.
And our boss, if he ever asks us if you were here, we just say no.
Okay. All right.
Take that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Well, that was a very kind gesture. It was, you know, ended up being $25, but they said it would actually cost them more money to charge me $25 because of the credit card fees. But wow, that was quick. Unfortunately, I think there was like a screw in the tire. I know I didn't really record most of it. A lot of this just really happened. I went inside to the gas station just to, you know, get the air compressor, but the air compressor didn't work. And then come to find out there was a shop back here that actually does tires, which is really convenient. And these guys really hooked it up. So I think for right now, we're gonna head back to Salt Flats and try to steer clear from screws or anything to puncture tires. But that was awesome. That was a really kind gesture from them. Did not expect that. I was expecting them for at least charge me some money. And I kind of begged them, like, let me, you know, pay you guys, but they didn't let me. So. Well, we made it back to our spot where we originally were to begin with, and that's just because it's a simple spot. But yeah, a lot of the times when we're dealing with mechanics, and trust me, I deal with mechanics all of the time, and I will say those types of mechanics are a dime of a dozen, because not a lot of times they just will let you go and not charge you, which is completely unnecessary. Of course, I would love to pay, but there's times where you get mechanics where they're just trying to do you a favor. But it is situations like that or mechanics like that that do, you know, make me realize that there is good humanity out there. Just because, you know, again, not every mechanic is, you know, trying to steal money from you. But situations like that where it makes me realize, you know, there are some really cool people out here. Well, I'm currently cooking, and I think someone definitely smells the food. We have a a little mouse. Look at that thing, dude. That thing is so cute. Just trying to get in here, though. Yo. Get out of here, dog. What are you doing, guy? What are you doing out here? Try to hide. What are you doing? How the fuck? Oh! Oh my god. Ew. That's nasty, dude. Well, I don't know how long that mouse has been living in my bus, but I can definitely not imagine a mouse like being out here. How can a mouse be out here? Which tells me that this mouse has been traveling with us for months or weeks or maybe days. I don't know. But it's definitely been living underneath the hood of our bus for a while. You can kind of tell. Now, I hope it's a good mouse so it doesn't, you know, chew up our wires and everything, but a mouse is a mouse. Hopefully it doesn't have babies either. I don't know. That mouse looked cute, but it just freaks me out, dude. Now, you guys probably don't really believe this, but I promise you guys that I do have a full-time job. I'm supposed to be working right now. Haven't been working for about an hour or two just because of all the things that have been happening lately, and also, you know, obviously wanted to make something to eat because I haven't eaten yet, and it's already 12 o'clock, so I gotta get to work. Well, I just got done work after basically working half a day work because of the tire situation. But I will say I am absolutely starving right now. And as promised to myself and to you guys as well, I promised myself that I will cook out here. And what better place but to cook out here, you know? Currently in Salt Flats, basically in another world over here. And I swear, one of my biggest hobbies to do when living this type of lifestyle, trust me, there's a lot of hobbies that I love to do. I love to hike. I love to just be in nature. But one of my biggest hobbies for sure is to cook outside with a beautiful landscape like this. I don't know what it is, you know, when you kind of prepare for a meal and then you know, finishing it and actually eating it in the landscape that you're in. Something about that is just so fulfilling to me. And again, I'm not the biggest cook. I mean, these are all meal prep meals. It's not like I'm cooking like a 5-star dinner here, but again, just a beautiful spot. For tonight, I am definitely gonna set up the projector here and put on some Netflix because, you know, again, not only is it a beautiful landscape, but it's also pretty nice out. I expected it to be a little bit more windier than it is, but it's pretty calm, to be honest with you. And I don't know what it is about being out here, but there's literally nothing to do out here. There's nothing to do but to, you know, do the things I'm doing right now, cooking outside, setting up the projector. I mean, literally there's a casino that's probably 10 minutes away. I've had my fair share of casinos. If you guys watched my previous video about stealth camping at a casino parking lot, lost some money over there. But yeah, it seems like for whatever reason, you know, when you're in a spot that's in the middle of nowhere, it's like the only thing to really do is to go to the casino and gamble. Which, like, come to think about it, you know, if I'm thinking about all of the places, my favorite places that I stayed at or visited or, you know, did hikes or whatever, they were all basically small towns or, you know, things that are basically, again, in the middle of nowhere. And I guess that's like not by coincidence. I mean, like, you know, you go to the biggest national parks and you do all that. It's, you know, it's cool, but there's something to say about being in the middle of nowhere by yourself and just doing nothing and just hanging around and looking at the scenery, because 9 times out of 10, most of the people on this planet won't ever see this, ever. Which is, again, why I am forever so thankful for this type of life that I have. I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere right now, eating some rotisserie chicken and rice, enjoying my view, and living in a bus. Can't really complain over here. But one of the biggest questions I get asked every single time in one of my videos in the comment section is like, is this thing even worth it? Like, is it worth it to live on the road? And I mean, like, you guys kind of got like a little bit of a glimpse of what it was like to, you know, deal with living in a bus on a daily basis. Like, you know, just things just happen, flat tires happen, you break down all the time. But then again, you get, you know, situations like this where you're kind of in the middle of nowhere and you're about to set up a projector and watch some Netflix by yourself, no one bothering you. To me, that makes it all worth it. On the flip side of the coin, I will say that this lifestyle is not for everyone. If you cannot deal with shit going on every single day, problems nonstop, and you're not really good at problem solving, then I would say that this lifestyle is definitely not worth it for you. I don't really, you know, mean to say that in any way. It's just, you know, I'm not trying to say it in a negative way. It's just a fact. Like, not a lot of people can really handle this. I honestly, dude, there's sometimes where like, I can't even handle this. I don't want to do this shit sometimes. I mean, it's basically like every other day where I like contemplate doing this type of lifestyle. Like, because the problem is that like, I don't need to do this. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are just trying to save money, and that's why they legitimately live in a vehicle, like an RV or something. But to me, like, I don't need to do this. I have a home that I could go to, you know, with a shower that I could shower every day, you know, a stove, an oven, you know, laundry. Like, I have all that. I don't need to do this. And that to me is probably the hardest thing, because again, I don't really have to do this lifestyle, but I choose to. But it's moments like this where it makes it all worth it for sure. So now we just sit back, wait for the sun to come down, set up the projector, and watch a movie, because I would love to set up a projector right now, but obviously it's not going to project because it's too light out. So sun sets in around an hour. Gonna wait for that sun to set, and then chill out for the rest of the night here. I think that's the plan.